Good morning, ladies. Welcome to our live chat for September. For any of you who are jumping on here live, you can ask questions at any time, but I do ask that in between you keep your microphone muted. You can put questions in the chat box or unmute yourself and just ask them as we go. My main topic that I wanted to go over today is going to be recovery. I had a question come in and it was regarding muscle soreness. And so this individual is still feeling like even if she doesn't push it super hard after something like a leg day, is feeling like her legs are jelly. And so is looking for some advice there. And this can vary with a lot of people. So everyone is a little different. Some people can do the exact same workout and recover just fine, whereas others can really struggle. So if you're someone who is feeling a lot of muscle soreness, especially if you've been in the program for a while, then this chat is for you. If you're brand new or you just took a break, it's very normal to have that muscle soreness. So this is more for that sort of ongoing, it never ends. And so I want to discuss the difference, first of all, between rest and recovery, because rest is essentially like complete inactivity. She's like 100% not supposed to be up there, but she's smart and knows I won't yell at her right now. Anyways, so with the rest, I highly suggest that all of you are taking at least one day of rest each week. And so with rest, what I mean by that is no formal exercise, or activity. This doesn't mean that you can't move your body. So you can still do your daily things. If that means, you would normally walk a mile to go get your groceries, like that is no problem. Move your body. I'm meaning rest from formal exercise or a formal type of activity that you're doing for exercise. So, because I'm going to spin around and come and talk about recovery, because recovery is different. Recovery is the conscious effort that you do to foster the return of your body to that sort of your resting state so that you are able to do that next workout. So we need to focus on improving your body's ability to recover. So there are a bunch of things that you can do to aid in your recovery. So you can either use these following tips to help aid your recovery, or you can use them to sort of check in with what you've been doing, because maybe there's a few things that are just off and you're not helping, you're hindering your body's ability to recover. So there's 5. I'm going to go over 5 tips for you. And some of this will seem familiar because there's a lot of overlap when it comes to exercise and fitness. So your first tip that's going to help with your recovery is focus on your sleep. If you are not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night and you're doing a lot of working out, which for the person who asked this question, I know you are. So sleep is huge. There are huge benefits that happen during that time you're sleeping that allow your body to recover. So it's important to get at least 7 to 8 hours, but it's also really important to make sure that those hours are restful. And this comes back, circling back to when we talk about trying to improve our sleep hygiene and get a better, bedtime routine so that it all can come to play and you can aid in your body's recovery that way. The next thing I want to talk about is your fluids. You must replace your fluids. So when we work out, of course, we sweat, but we also lose water throughout the day just with our normal body processes. So it is so important that you are drinking at least 2 liters of water every day. I would even go and stretch that for any one of you who are completing all of our SheFit workouts, and some of you are even doing more. You're doing some outside activities too. For you, I would even give you the range of 2 to 3 liters of water each day. Water is huge. This is something that's going to help your body be much more effective doing every single process. You're going to help yourself stay hydrated, but then also help all your body's internal functions work much better. So drink your water. And the same, kind of on the same line as thing, the third thing I'm going to say is to focus on your nutrition. It's also so important that you are eating well. You need to be eating nutrient-dense food. You need to be eating enough, because same thing, we're expending a lot of energy. You're breaking down your muscles every time you do a strength workout. We do that so that they can rebuild and rebuild stronger, but you have to make sure that you are repairing the muscles that you've just used. So it's not only important that you have enough food and good quality food, but to really aid in your recovery, I would make sure that you are consistently trying to eat at least within 60 minutes of your workout. And 60 minutes is a stretch. If you can eat within 30, even better. So sometimes I know it's not possible, or you're maybe not hungry at that point, but if you can get a meal in that 60 to 30 minutes, that's going to make a huge, huge change in your body's ability to recover. The suggestion I'm going to have for you, because I know it's not always, well, sometimes you're not hungry, or maybe it's not convenient. You're at the gym or you're working out during a break at work or on your way. The biggest thing that I can suggest for you here is if you can't eat a meal would be ideal, go for some protein powder. So a scoop of protein powder is sufficient enough for you to get into that window to really help with that recovery. So after every workout, when I do a strength workout, even if I know I'm going to be eating right away, I do have a scoop of protein. I have it in my gym bag. So as I'm leaving the gym, I actually mix a scoop of protein with a scoop of electrolytes, and I drink that as I'm walking out of the gym and into my car. So immediately after my workout, I'm getting that in. And then by the time I'm home or back at work or whatever it may be, then I'm going to eat that proper meal. But then I have a little bit more wiggle room to not have to try to get that like proper meal in right away. We'll move on. The fourth tip I have for you is to add in some daily stretching or mobility. And yes, in our workouts, I do always begin our workouts with a bit of mobility, but truthfully, that's not enough. That's in there to make sure that you guys get at least a little bit of mobility. You're warming up the muscles that we're about to use. But if that's all you're doing, that's not sufficient for like getting your muscles moving and kind of moving some of that waste product that happens when you work out. So I highly suggest trying to find a time where you can add in some just simple stretching or mobility. So choose something like either in the morning or the evening, because it is best to do this type of stuff outside of your workout. So not right after, not right before. If you can do it in the morning or the evening, you're going to get much more of a benefit out of it. So doing it completely separate from your workout. However, you're going to get way more benefit from the mobility work and stretching that you do versus the stretching that you don't do. So if trying to do it in the morning or in the evening is not realistic for you, do it right after your workout. Okay. I do suggest a little bit of a stretch after your workout, but my advice with doing it separate is more for the aid in recovery. If you're struggling with that muscle soreness, that's where you want to try to have a dedicated, could only be 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of stretching that you're doing daily. If you're not even sure what to do, guess what? We have, oh gosh, a whole bunch of follow along videos in here. Click on the side, there's the mobility vault, and you have access to some upper body stretches, lower body stretches, full body, mobility, all of the things. So pick through, follow along, and then find some of the movements that you know really work for you. Sometimes you may not like them. Those are the ones that generally you should do a little more of. And then I'll move on to my final tip for you. So the fifth and final tip to help you aid in your recovery is to take additional or extra steps to aid in that recovery. And these are things like going for an like taking active recovery. So what is active recovery? Well, active recovery is actually like movement, but it's low intensity movement. So we can kind of add in some of that stretching into this, but more so like go for a really easy walk. Or if you have a spin bike at home, a super gentle spin, this is just going to help flush your muscles, move those fluids, and make sure that your body's feeling a little looser, more limber. So active recovery is movement. It's like a low intensity movement. The other thing you may want to consider is increasing the amount of soft tissue work you're going, maybe getting a massage on the regular. Or the other thing that can also help is things like some self-myofascial release, whether you're using a lacrosse ball, a foam roller. Keep in mind, if you're doing this stuff, you want to help release your muscles, but you don't want to overdo it so that you're increasing inflammation. So you don't want to like totally kill and destroy those muscles because they're already sore. So this is more of a light muscle, like active release or myofascial rolling. So keep it light, keep it short, and it'll just help move things. The final extra step that I find works the best for me is an ice bath. And over these last few years, ice baths have really gained popularity. And although you don't have to, buy a horse trough and do a full cold plunge, but a cold ice bath, you don't even need to use ice. I use ice, especially after like a race or something. But if you're in a cold tub, if you're just in there, like with your legs in, you don't even have to put your whole body in. Wear a sweater, stay warm, but ice your legs. And that's going to change things tremendously. Another thing, I guess, on the topic of the ice bath that can work and is maybe less hard is an Epsom salt bath. And I should have started with that. So Epsom salt baths are great for recovery. So it can be warm, throw some Epsom salts in. Personally, when I am very sore, that's when I need the ice over the Epsom salt. So these are all things that you should be trying, because the things that work for me may not necessarily be the best for you. The thing that I want to toss over there could be the thing that changes your life. So make sure you try all 5 of these things: sleep, water, nutrition, stretching, and then some additional extra add-ins to aid in that recovery. So hope that helps. And let me know if you have any questions or you want some specific advice on anything that I talked about. And I'll open the floor. Are there any questions for those of you who are here? Things look good. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for today. So thank you for joining, and I hope that you guys can take these tips and improve that recovery and continue to work hard. Have an awesome rest of your day. I will see you on the internet. Take care.